to Green is Good. This is the ISRI edition of Green is Good, and we're here in beautiful downtown Vancouver, British Columbia, in the Vancouver Convention Center. And today, our first guest is Patrick Shea. He's the Executive Vice President of Jason Learning, and we've got two wonderful young ladies with us, Georgina Cahill and Elizabeth Korn. Welcome to Green is Good, ladies. Patrick, before we get talking about Jason Learning, can you tell us a little bit about the Patrick Shea story and your journey leading up to joining Jason Learning?
Sure. My journey with Jason started a long time ago now. I actually started with Jason as my first job out of college, and I was hired as the webmaster. But then, because we were a smaller organization, got involved in a lot of different things. And most of my time at Jason, I've been a digital media producer. So I've gone out in the field and have worked with our scientists and engineers and have helped to share their stories through Jason's curriculum and videos and website and digital games. Gotcha.
And can you give the premise of what is Jason Learning, and then talk a little bit about why you're here today, the partnership, the very important partnership between Jason Learning and ISRI?
Sure. The mission of Jason is to educate kids in science and technology. And we're unique in that we do so in a very current way. We connect them with real scientists, real engineers. We expose them to current research, really all cutting edge stuff. And it's different from a typical textbook in that textbooks, you start writing that textbook and 10 years later, it actually hits the student's desk. And by that point, especially in science, things move fast, it's out of date. So Jason really wants to get kids excited and inspired by science and technology by connecting them with what's happening now. And that's part of the reason why we're partnered with ISRI. We look to government, we look to academia, and we look to industry to tell those really interesting, compelling stories about science to kids. And ISRI's got a great story to tell in the recycling industry. So we work really closely with them on a number of different things. We've developed a recycling curriculum, which is...
In conjunction with ISRI.
In conjunction with ISRI,
right.
Exactly. And we're working with ISRI's members to roll that out in various cities across the country. And we really see a great opportunity there to educate kids about the amazing work that you do in the recycling industry.
And Jason, it goes under the premise of STEM. Could you explain to our audience again what STEM stands for and why that's so important in today's day and age?
Sure. STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. It's all of these things that relate together that make science possible. And it's important because, so much of what we take for granted in day-to-day life is driven by science and technology now, and that is only going to increase in the future. And in order to be a good citizen, an informed citizen, the students today need to learn science. They need to understand it really well, better than we've ever had in the past as a population.
Right. And so you had an automobile recycling contest, and that's why these fine young ladies are here today. Can you describe what the automobile recycling contest was and how the judging happened?
Sure. So every year, for the last couple of years, we've worked with ISRI to develop a contest, and this is a poster or a video contest. And each year we've picked a different commodity to talk about that can be recycled.
Such as?
Last year's focus was on cell phones and all the different ways we could recycle cell phones. And this year we focused on automobiles.
That's wonderful. And so how does it work? Who can enter the contest, and how do you judge the contest?
So any student from grade K to 12 in the United States can enter the contest. We had hundreds of submissions. These two immediately stood out to us as being excellent. Jason's staff kind of took a first pass at narrowing down from the hundreds to a select group of finalists that we then worked with ISRI staff and ISRI members to score those and come up with our winners.
And approximately how many entrants did you have?
We had a couple hundred.
Couple of hundred. And these are the two winners we have here today? Do you want to explain who they are and how they won and everything else?
Sure thing. So Elizabeth was our video winner in the grade 5 through 8 category, and Georgina was our video winner in the K-12 category. She was also one of our grand prize winners.
Wow. So, all right, young ladies, now this is your time to shine. So, explain a little bit, what inspired you to enter the contest, and what division did you enter again, and what did you actually do?
Well, my school has a really big push towards economic and ecology issues, and this really branched from it. And sorry, what was the question?
No, and you are and you're Georgina, and you're in what grade?
I'm in 11th grade
At what school?
at Convent of the Sacred Heart.
So, what inspired you to enter this contest? How did you hear about it? And what portion of the contest did you enter in? I see here it says you're the video category. So, how did you enter it, and how did you create this video?
Well, I have a film program at my school, which I'm lucky enough to be in, and this was part of that. I was able to work with my film in that program and entered into this contest, and I entered in the video contest for K through 12 and was able to be here today.
Wonderful. And you, young lady, Elizabeth,
Yeah.
welcome to Green is Good.
Thank you.
What portion of the contest did you enter, and how did you learn about it?
At my school, in my class, where I have a small class in a program called Project Challenge, and we all entered since we were working with Jason Project. We went on the website and used the workbooks, and because we were learning about climate change. And
What school are you in, and what grade are you in?
I'm in 7th grade at Matlin Middle School,
Which is where is that located?
Plainview, New York.
Plainville, New York. So you learned about it at your school, and you entered the contest. When did you enter?
In January
Of this year.
this year, yeah.
And when did you find out that you were the middle school winner in the video category?
I think in March.
Pretty excited that day?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you both learn, and I'll let you both answer this, by entering this contest and participating, creating what you created to win? I'll start with you.
I never knew recycling was like that big of a thing, that there was real organizations and industries that specialized in just recycling.
And now you know.
Yeah.
And how about you, Georgina?
I really learned that there's so many opportunities for us to help in this issue. There's so many little things that everyone can do to really progress in this area.
What do what did your fellow students and other people think? What does your generation think about? This is Green is Good, the name of this show. What do you guys think about sustainability and being green and recycling now? Has this changed your perspective? Obviously, you said you learned a lot about it, but what are your fellow students? Are they into sustainability and green? What do you feel is going on in your own schools and your own classes?
I think that we know that it's important, but I think we should try harder to do everything that we can.
I like that. Try harder.
Well, my school always encourages us to help the environment, and we have lots of organizations and clubs at my school that are working towards that, and I think that really inspired me in this project too.
That's great. Patrick, obviously these two young ladies are standouts, but this is what Jason really is, the best representation of what Jason's all about. What is going on with Jason next? Like, where are you going to take Jason next? What other kind of projects are you working on with ISRI and with other organizations?
Sure. We're going to continue the contest approach with ISRI. Pretty much immediately after this conference, we're going to get together with our colleagues over at ISRI and work on the design of the next contest, which will roll out at the beginning of next school year. And we're really excited about that. And in general, Jason, our mission is to get our materials into all of the schools across the country, because we really believe in our model, and we really believe in the quality of our science, technology, engineering, and math curriculum. And we talked before about it's so important that kids have a great fundamental understanding of science. And even in a contest situation like this, I mean, how much did you guys learn about science and technology that goes into the recycling industry that you didn't know before?
Yeah, a ton of stuff after researching about this project.
And your students, hundreds of entrants, were all from all across the country. For our listeners out there, first of all, to learn more about all the great work ISRI does, you could go to isri.org isri.org. And to learn more about Jason, you could go to www.jason.org. Patrick, for our next year's entrance, for listeners out there, parents and also young people, how do they enter? How easy is it to enter next year's contest? And have you decided yet with ISRI what commodity you're going to focus on next year?
We have not decided on the commodity yet or the contest design, but odds are it will be pretty similar to the approach that we've done this year. We like to combine art and science, and we feel like that's a really creative way to get these good positive messages out.
Gotcha. You know, young ladies, at your home, what are you doing in your home? What are your parents doing? And is it coming from your generation? Are you telling mom and dad to get solar or to recycle more? Or are they doing it already? Or are they driving a hybrid car? What's going on in your homes?
Well, we always try to recycle like plastic bottles and paper and everything. And also for my projects like this one, I always try to use recycled objects in my projects and incorporate them.
Cool.
Yeah, we recycle at home.
You recycle. Yeah. Is there solar yet on your homes, or is mom and dad driving a hybrid car? Is that coming next?
Hopefully soon, I think.
Okay. With regards to your goals, what do you young ladies foresee yourself? I know you're very young, and I know there's a long way to go yet. What do you see yourselves doing? Is there anything in particular you're dreaming of becoming when you get a little older?
I want to be an author when I grow up.
An author? That's awesome. That's really great. Are you a good writer now?
I hope so.
Probably are. You know. And how about you?
I would really like to go into the film industry one day and hopefully make films that incorporate both live action and animation, like this project.
Well, your resume is going to shine now as the grand prize winner in the video category now. Patrick, I'm going to leave you with ask you for some last words here. Any last thoughts in terms of Jason and how people who are watching this video or our audience out there or listening to us on radio can get involved, who hear about all the great work you're doing?
Sure. So what I would say is, Jason is in and of itself a conservation organization. We're a science education organization.
Right.
And we feel like the better you understand the science behind all of this, the more passionate people get because they have the facts and they understand the research and they understand the background. And we feel like that knowledge brings the power to want to conserve and to want to be green. So for those of you listening, if you have a school in your area or a district that you feel like you want to get them involved in this, in Jason in general, in the contests, go to the website. We have free trials to get online and access all of our digital curriculum, and you can learn more about who we are and what our approach is.
That's wonderful. And again, congratulations to you young ladies. This is really a great thing for both of you. Thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you.
Congratulations again.
Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, we're honored to have both of you with us today. Again, this is John Shagarian, and we're at the ISRI edition of Green is Good in beautiful downtown Vancouver at the Vancouver Convention Center. We thank Patrick Shea today and these beautiful young ladies, the winners of the Jason Learning Project, the one in the automobile recycling contest. And we ask our listeners and our viewers out there in our audience, you want to learn more about Jason, please go to jason.org, jason.org. And if you want to learn more about, of course, the wonderful organization called ISRI, which we're at their annual convention this year, broadcasting live, you go to isri.org. Thank you again, and listen to Green is Good.